the MC for tonight, who's going to be leading the pitching segment of the event. We went through all the applications and we were able to select, hopefully, what we hope tonight will be 4 winning pitches.
I'm Gedalia Weinberger. As I mentioned earlier, I'm involved with Anthium Investments, and we have 6 startups that we are currently involved with.
My name is Israel Rappaport. I'm an entrepreneur myself.
My name is Shmuel Genevich. I'm an entrepreneur.
Hi, I'm Daniel Wolfson.
A lot of the predictions and a lot of the venture capital companies is that New York in the next 10 years will upseed Silicon Valley as being the center of technology and innovation. If you have ideas, go with your ideas. Take them to the next level. I'd like to introduce our first contestant. Keith Chamesh from Muncie, New York, has an app, and his company is called Instatrade.
Instatrade is a new mobile marketplace, which I started. It came about me walking into my home office one day, and I saw my daughter was trying to buy something on Craigslist, and she became very frustrated with the way she had to click through many different pages. It wasn't very enticing. Right next to her was my wife, and she was using Pinterest. I thought of coming up with a platform or solution that takes the ability to buy, sell, or trade something and build it into a visual, engaging platform similar to Instagram and Instatrade, all from your mobile phone. Instatrade helps discovering a product, buying, selling, and now you could even trade. One of the best things that Instatrade offers is, because everything is via a mobile phone, is the ability to post something, if you're trying to sell something, in almost 12 seconds. It also has, since we're using a smartphone, it has geolocation. So if you wanted to just search within Crown Heights or just one block or a few blocks, you could break it down. You don't have to search the entire New York City. I need additional funding to come up with the Android version, the HTML or the web platform for it. But most importantly, the biggest spend is going to be for getting more people aware. Just alone, without any press or marketing, I got 4,500 people to download it. I converted about 35% into them to actual users, and I have over 2,000 products in the marketplace right now that people are communicating, trading, and conversing with each other. I'm asking for $150,000 for a 15% stake in the company. So essentially the valuation would be $1 million the way it is right now.
How do you expect to monetize it?
All the listings are free. If they actually buy this something, just like you would on eBay, eBay charges 10%, I'm only going to charge 5%. I have 4 claims for provisional patent, which some of that money is going to be to finalize that as well.
What are you basing the valuation on?
On other similar companies that have went out to the marketplace, and I'm fairly confident I could get 100,000 users with probably a quarter of that money. I just don't want to keep going back to the bank.
I actually like what you did. It's really nice. I have a concern about... I personally do not know of any trade or sales websites along the lines of eBay, Amazon, etc., that have really been able to make true inroads in the market.
I think whoever did try something came at the wrong time. They didn't have the same technology. They didn't offer the same visual engagement.
I do not see how you will be able to charge a 5% transaction fee. Nobody has successfully done that since eBay. Very specifically on the trade fee that you're looking to impose, I cannot see how any consumer would pay a trade fee.
I'm out.
I'm out.
In the format that it is right now, I'm out.
Without more information and more data as it is right this second, not saying it's not a good idea, but I'm out.
Thank you very much, investors. Avi Goldstein hails from Kew Garden Hills, New York. He's the founder and CEO of Stack Gear. I started this company 3 years ago when I was in paramedic school, and I invented a device to attach medical tape to a stethoscope. Our flagship product is a T3 tactical auto rescue tool. We have a 440C steel blades, the knife and the seatbelt cutter, a spring-loaded window punch, which is different, and it has a light function on it. Our newest product is the Auto Survival Kit, which features the T3 auto rescue tool. It's included in here. It comes in this kit, which is a patent pending design because it attaches to any passenger side sun visor. So I came out with this idea to focus towards rental cars. I want this to be the mini bar for rental cars. I will fill this with travel necessity items, basic first aid, sunscreen, chapstick, water, mints, rain poncho if it's caught in the rain. Just want to talk quickly about our distribution. Currently, we have 97 mid-sized dealers around the world. We just recently got into Walmart.com and SharperImage.com. We just very recently got into Galls, which is the largest law enforcement store in the country. I'm selling 20% of the company. I'm looking to have someone invest $200,000 for 20% of the company.
So your company is worth $1 million, and you're selling
like to
20%.
think so. Right.
And what is your company doing right now? It has a couple of ideas. It has a knife. It has the...
Right, so we have existing products that we already have in the market. We have the future idea of the rental car aspect, which is not going to cost a lot of money because we already have those kits made. The same kits for the first aid kits, we just modify what goes in the kits, market that to the rental car company. The first year gross was almost $250,000 with a net profit of $20,000. Second year in 2013 was $372 with a net of $95. And this year we are at so far $162 with a net of $45. As we grow and have more of these kits to sell, I'm going to hire some part-time or per diem people just for the assembly.
Why do you need an investment? You're doing quite well. I mean, you made $45,000 so far this year. Last year you made $95,000. I mean, what do you...
That's a good question. So all the money that I'm making goes right back into the company to buy new inventory. So because we're growing quite rapidly, thank God, we have all these new companies coming in. To keep up with the demand for the inventory is very difficult. There's a 3-month lead time in manufacturing our products. So I have to lay out the money, wait 3 months to get it in, sell it, wait 30 to 90 days to get the money back. And to get all that inventory that I know I'm going to need soon is I have to lay out another $100,000, $150,000.
Any patent or patent pending on this product?
Yeah, good question. So my kits are patent pending for the design of having the survival, rescue, first aid kits on the passenger sun visor. So instead of having it and throwing it in your trunk, covered up by all the junk, this is right there when you need it.
What's your gross margin on the product?
I buy it for $965. I sell it for $19.99 to $23.99 wholesale, between 40 and 50% off. Retail, I sell it for $40.
I pass.
You pass.
I'm in.
We got one person in for
It depends, whatever. He's trying to raise 200 at $1 million valuation, subject to working out agreements, etc. I would like to invest in it. Yes, we'll see what the other guys want to do.
I'm pretty impressed that was quick. I'm not going to say no to this because this is actually a little bit up our alley. We do a lot of the marketing for these type of things, and we manufacture. So I need to hear more.
I think I'm not convinced that the car rental thing is a great idea, but I think you're a great entrepreneur.
Thank you.
I definitely would like to sit with you later and figure out how to best leverage some of what we can offer and potentially be in alongside David.
I would agree with Shmuley and Azriel that I'd love to continue the discussion. I won't be as cavalier as David to say yes right this minute, but it's something I certainly want to continue a discussion about.
Welcome to Time Banks, where your time is valued as currency, and volunteering is now fun, easy, and effective. 1. Simply select which services you can do to assist our organization. 2. After completion of these services, press the My Jobs tab, enter in the number of hours completed, and press Submit. 3. Upon approval, all of your submitted hours will instantly appear in your own Time Banks account.
Time Banks is a cloud-based volunteer management program. It does what no other such program does. Basically, every program that's out there functions pretty much as a bulletin board where schools or organizations can post jobs that need to be taken. People can accept those jobs. However, There is no collaboration on any of these existing products. This program allows admins that are set by an organization to post various jobs. They're also highly customizable. They can be posted on multiple dates, multiple times, across multiple categories. Admins can also email from within this program, and they can select if they want their email to go out to all the users, committee heads, or any other. There's various other filters that they can use and various other ways they can sort it. One school has just reported that they have logged 4,000 volunteer hours this past year because of this program. This is a solution that allows them to do all of that at a price that's much lower than what they would pay usually on the market, or what they would expect to pay on the market for such a product. This is a company that can very quickly rise to the level of a company that that pulls in $3+ million a year. So this $90,000 in return for a 20% equity in the company. And when you look at the math of even 1,000 schools or organizations at $300 a month comes to $3,600,000 a year. So at a $90,000 investment, we think that's a very good investment. That's the way we feel. And that's what we're asking from you today. Thanks.
Who's the market?
The market is really any organization that relies highly on volunteer activity. So schools would be kind of an obvious one, but then you would have public theaters, for example, or libraries that have volunteers, or there's really many types of organizations out there that rely highly on volunteer. Like I mentioned before, Opera Theater of Pittsburgh, which is they're not like the main opera house in Pittsburgh, but they rely heavily both in the chorus as well as in building the prop sets and all that. It's all volunteer driven.
I really like what you're doing. I have to first see that it's really unique in the sense that you combine those things in a way that nobody else is combining them. What are you looking for, by the way, in terms of investment?
We're asking for $90,000 for a 20% equity.
I'll pass on this.
I'm potentially in, depending on getting a lot more questions answered.
I want to see more schools signed up for it. I want to see some paying customers before I can commit to this.
I'm out.
I'm out. I'm out.
You have some of the investors, although they weren't in here, maybe you could do a follow-up pitch to them privately, but as of now, unfortunately, nobody is willing to make that commitment, but you have some invitations to talk to individuals privately. Our final presenter for this evening is Noah Blumenthal from Crown Heights, Brooklyn.
Barge is load testing for engineers. Engineers, in addition to writing code, they also test their code, hopefully. There's many different types of tests. One type of test is a load test. A load test is a type of test that tests that this code works at scale. Q4 of 2013, there was $2.4 billion invested in this sector alone, internet companies, for what that's worth. It's a SaaS model. It's a software as a service. There's a freemium piece to it. This is very early stage, and I'll describe that in a minute. But just off the bat, building this proof of concept that I have, it operates at a 35% gross margin if you compare it to competitors' pricing. But there are very clear steps to get that to about 90%, a little over 90. I figured about 92.5% gross margin. What I'm looking for is money in order to focus on this full time, pay for my living expenses, pay for server, and possibly some consulting fees to be able to bash this out quicker.
How much money are you looking for?
$75,000.
How much could you charge for a service like this?
So typically the way this stuff is charged is per load test, either per month that enables you to do a certain amount of minutes per load test with a certain amount of maximum users, or there's one-off testing, which is a certain amount of users for a certain amount of minutes.
I'm just going to say that I will not be surprised if I hear in a couple of years from now that you got your $1 billion, but when you said engineer load testing, I'm thinking about buildings, and I'm not in the building industry either. So for me, this is like way above my head, so I'm out.
This is way above me, but I want to say Hashikach. I've had many engineers that worked for me in the past, and it's always great to see a From Lubavitcher boy engineering some great new applications, but it's way above my capabilities.
It's not the money that's the issue. In other words, is there really a product, and to what level can it be used?
Just to be totally honest, it's way too sophisticated for me. I have no idea what you were talking about. So it's not that I don't think it could be fantastic. I'm sure it will, but
I took a risk. I took a risk.
I really have no clue what you were talking about, but it sounds very cool.
Thank you.
Interactive used to do that.
Great. Congratulations, Noah.
Daniel, we've got one more over here.
Oh, Achron Chaviv. I thought that was your answer. Go right ahead.
I'd be glad to chat afterwards about it. Again, I think what Gedalia said, it's not a lot of money that you're looking for to build a product. I just would want to understand exactly who your customer would be. Maybe have you talk to some of the CTOs that I work with to understand that there's really a need for what you're doing.
Thank you very much, Noah.